Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you have all the details needed to stay updated with all the courses, content and any information that I'm coming up with. So let's get started for today's video. You have to read PMBOK Guide 7th edition, which is the latest one, and the Process Groups Practice Guide for the basic clearance of what the concepts for complete project management guide provides. Also, the PMI guide to business analysis for practitioners, that's again a practice guide which covers business analysis. Agile practice guide, project management answer book 2nd edition, and effective project management that covers traditional, agile, extreme and hybrid, that's the 8th edition. So these are the reasons. See here is PMBOK 7 edition. So the standard for project management and guide to the project management body. As you see, PMBOK is you can say it's a Bible. It's the core soul of PMIs, PMP, CAPM, and it contains all the knowledge that you need to pass these exams. But since it's exhaustive, you should know what's in there and how it looks, because the access you will have for this particular guide would only be there if you are a member or you have taken or you have purchased a licensed version. So if you see, I'm already a member and PMI benefit licensed member of this. That's why I have it. It cannot be reproduced, so I cannot put this in the resources so that you can download. But for that, if you want, either you can take the membership of PMI or you can go and buy that on Amazon. Either way. But before you do that or spend more money, let's have a look how it looks like and what it contains. So I'm going to jump to the content for this, what is contained in. So I don't want to get into completely each one of this. It's 1,000+ pages. It doesn't make sense for me to go here, but yes, I'll just glance you through the major areas. So let's have a look at this one first. Now what it says is 6th edition and 7th edition. It's applicable to CAPM and PMP both. Earlier for PMP, as I said, 2021 we moved from 6th edition to the 7th edition. For CAPM we have moved in July 2023. So the guide in 6th edition was majorly focusing on certain areas that you see on the left hand side on this page. There was introduction, you had more information about project environments and role of project manager. And then afterwards, PMBOK 6 focused on all the knowledge areas: integration, scope management, schedule management, cost management, quality, resources, likewise, communication, risk, and all of these. The standard of project management had 5 groups: initiation, planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling, and finally the closing. So this was majorly what was the main body of the 6th edition. So in 7th edition, though the core concepts remain same, split has been a bit different. Like we just went through domains, task, enablers. They were not in 6th edition or the format based on 6th edition. They are part of 7th edition. If you see PMP course, again, you will see domain, tasks, enablers for the 7th edition exam that started from January 2021. Same for CAPM. Now they have these 3 segments of domain, enablers and tasks distributed as an outline. In this course, you again will have all these details for you. So what is 7th edition carrying? Again, it will have introduction to basics. Then it talks about value delivery, system for value delivery. When I am taking this up with you, we are going to talk about systems thinking. We are going to talk about value delivery. We are going to merge and see how you validate that. So that's where 6th edition has evolved to 7th edition. And the principles of project management, 12 principles that are highlighted by PMI, that's the core body of all the content that gets into the standard of project management has been explained here. Then when you get to the guide to project management body of knowledge 7th edition, you will have, as I said, domains. So domains are again stakeholder, team, development, approach and life cycle, all of these. we'll see tailoring methods, we'll see models, methods, and artifacts. So overall, I don't want to confuse you, but overall, if you want to see how we have evolved, that's how it looks like on a bigger picture. What areas you are covering in the current pattern, what was there earlier. Now, let's get going and let's see the table of content. I'm not going to, read each one of them, but yes, we'll just scroll through and see what all areas we are covering, the components, the topics, okay? It looks very exhaustive in first place. So my suggestion would be go through the other resources and the course first, and then come to PMBOK. It will be advisable to do that way, because if you start reading PMBOK first, you might get confused. You will not get the complete crux. It's up to you if you want to go for it, but my suggestion would be you can always go through it. It's a good book. It's a very good guide for you to have detailed knowledge. But having a course first would be beneficial so that you get the basics clear. So, as I said, the introduction part talks about key terms, concepts, what you need to do, what are your roles and responsibilities, ethics, and values of PMI. Then you get to the second part where systems of value delivery, it's been spoken about in PMBOK in detail. And the third part talks about the principles. Now, when you talk about all these 12 principles, they are drilled down into different domains, then tasks, enablers, and all of those things that you see in content have been put together in the course, keeping all these things in mind that you see here on the screen for PMBOK 7. So I'm not going to scroll down because this is a big book and will take a lot of time to cover this. That's not the intent. The intent was to let you know how it looks, because I am presuming if you have not already registered for the exam, you are not having access to this, or if you don't have the book, you don't have access to this. So you should know what's in there in PMBOK 7th edition. Let's now move to the other resource, which is again a very valuable resource. This is process groups practice guide. Again, you can have this if you are a member, or you'll have to purchase it. So the practice guide, again, it's focusing on the total processes. Now we spoke about 5 processes. If you have a look here, I'm just going to stop here in the preface. So for anybody like project manager, practitioner, or an organization, there are 5 process groups in project management areas by PMI, which do not go away in 7th edition. Okay, so it's just how they are put together for the outcome or the study purpose, but they still remain the 5 groups that are really important to understand if you want to understand the complete project management lifecycle and framework. So initiation, planning, executing, monitoring, control, and closing. All these 5 groups have been very well explained, thoroughly explained in this particular book or guide, which is your process group guide by PMI again. This one contains introduction again, but this time it's not the ethics and values that we are focusing on. It contains project management basics, and then talks about its importance and fundamentals and foundational elements of the same. Then it talks about change management. Now in our course as well, you will find that I have started introduction and I have added some intro to change management. You might wonder why in the beginning itself, because business value and change are some of the core components of project management in today's time when things are dynamic. It's not it's a different work environment now like it was 10 years ago. So you should know something in the core concepts before you actually jump into the complete program. And then this guide also talks about programs and project management, program management. It tells you what is portfolio management, how they blend together. This is again part of something that you'll also find in the 7th edition or in the 6th edition as well. I would recommend you to stick to 7th edition if you're going for the PMBOK. And if you want to specifically learn more about the groups, process groups, this is your guide. This is a very good book. I have read this in the PMBOK 7. So whatever books I'm referring to you here, I have already been through all of them to create this chunk of value for you here that you're going through. Now in this book again, if you see, 1.7, you will have the development life cycles, its phases, what are the gates, project management processes, and its groups. So all that combination has been covered in this particular one. Now, I'm not going to again dig deeper into this. You can always go back to it and learn. If you need any information, help beyond the content that I have provided you, please go ahead and ask me a question. I'm readily available. You can reach out to me through my channel on YouTube. You can drop an email to me at edipulseforyou@gmail.com. I'm just available for you where you need help other than the content that you're getting. Let's go to the next one now, which is Agile Practice Guide. Now, it's again one of the very good references that are there from PMI. As you see here, it's not for resale or distribution. It is available for all the members who are active members of PMI or the instructors. So I'm just giving you a glance through so that if you feel that you need any one of these, you can go and purchase them. Okay, or you can just be the member and have benefit of availing these. But for that, you need to at least have, for the ePDFs, you need to be the member of PMI, active member. Next, what we are talking about in this Agile Practice Guide is it covers everything from work and high uncertain work, how and why we need Agile. It talks about manifestos and mindset. Now, when you talk about Agile, you must know, first of all, what is the essential part. For me, if you ask me, I have been practicing Agile for more than 10 years now, and I feel the first thing that you need to know is and get right is your mindset. So if you have the right mindset, you can work very well and produce tremendous results in Agile setup. It also talks about lean and Kanban methods and few more. I don't think here you will find much about extreme programming or other areas for Agile, because they are more driven towards IT and some specific work areas or industries. But yes, PMI ACP course covers all of that extensively. You can find pair programming, stream programming, many other things that are extension of Agile and that are really workable, safe and everything. That's really good course as well. I'm already certified in that. That's why I know that. So yes, coming back, for this Agile Practice Guide, you will get all these on the screen. So you'll know what are predictive life cycles, what are increments, interactive life cycles, how are characteristics of each one of them differentiating from Agile life cycles. You will see sustainability factors and hybrid life cycles introduction in there as well. It's a very good book. I personally love this book. It's well detailed. There are many other books, other than, if you're not just concentrating on the PMI certifications, there are many good books out there which I can refer to you. I'll try to make something out and put some resources in there as well, so that if you are really keen to learn more about Agile, you can go and see that. So this is what your Agile Guide, Practice Guide covers. It also covers implementing Agile, how you create an Agile environment. So if you are a leader, how you are going to take up your team, train them, make them efficient so that they work in the Agile mindset, they understand it. And for you as a leader, you should know what is servant leadership, what is empathy at work, how do you serve people, facilitate your team members more to empower them, encourage them in collaborative work environment. That's what Agile's core concept is. Now, team composition is part of this as well as implementing and delivering in Agile. So when you talk about delivering, you have the ceremonies, like you have daily stand-ups, you have sprint planning, you have sprint reviews, executing of each sprint, having review and then retrospection, and then how you take things from the retrospection to make them better. All of them come here. Okay. So lastly, I'm going to just touch upon what in the end it is talking about. When you talk about change considerations or just the organizational considerations for project agility, there are concepts like organizational culture, change management, procurement and contracts. It's an extensive part. That's also covered here. Okay, so I would suggest and recommend you, please make sure you see the weightage first. So in your exam, you have 4 domains, and all 4 domains do not contain same weightage in terms of how they will come up in the form of questions in exam. So domain 1 is the highest, and then goes your agile. So second number is your business analysis, third is agile, and fourth one is your predictive and plan based. So please make sure you always be aware and plan yourself well, because the things, I believe, when planned well, they go really in the right direction. If you do not plan and start haphazardly, they don't help you much. So please make sure you keep in mind what you're learning first, keep the sequence, keep in mind the weightage, and put your effort where it is most needed, so that you can really have right knowledge in right place to get an exam certification. So or anything like that in the work environment. Okay, so let's go next. This is business analysis for practitioners. This is, again, as I said, the second highest weightage is business analysis in this exam. So business analysis for practitioners, if you take PMP or CAPM, both of them have this part, agile and business analysis, as part of 7th edition and the new pattern. And it's really beneficial, because I have come across many people who are keen to get into business analysis after doing some courses like CAPM and PMP. And since now it's covered in, so even if you want to go for business analyst position or want to get into business analysis, you want to know it better, this is your time. For these certifications, they can help you a lot. So this guide, BA practice guide, that is there, it covers everything about what is business analysis, who performs business analysis, what are the skill set expertise needed for this role, how are organizations implementing this, and what is the relationship between a project manager, business analyst, and other roles. It's really important to know the roles and responsibilities, because sometimes when you are a project manager and you work with business analyst, your roles clash. It's a blend, I think, and there are cases when you're either business analyst and you then move to project manager role, and then there are other cases where you are first a project manager, you move to business analyst, or you blend between the two. So that's how it goes from industry wise or from your journey in your career. So you should know both of them. It's really important. Like I said, when you talk about requirements, um, when you think about scoping out the work documents, scope of work, planning the projects, you as a project manager, project lead, team lead, or a business analyst has core responsibility for the requirements, how you're going to put them together, how you're going to present to your team, what are the tools, techniques you're going to take. All of them are really important to understand when you are in the practical environment, and this guide is really helpful for you to core focus on the requirements in business analysis. And I'm just going to go through a glance through what's it. I'm not going to talk about needs and assessment because it's one whole topic. I'm just letting you know what all is here that is covered. Okay, so third section that you see here in this guide is business analysis planning. So this also tells you how to plan, brainstorm, what all tools you can use for this, and how to present that as well to the stakeholders. Okay, that's where you see this: prepare for elicitation, determine the objectives, and all these things, they come as a part of implementing it. It also talks about different models and the refined requirements that are needed, though I would suggest you don't need to get too deeper into all these. If you go through the content that I have provided you, it will be beneficial for you anyhow. But if you want to go through this is a glance through, so that you can keep in mind the resources that you need along with anything else that you have or the course you have. Okay, traceability is one of the parts of requirement traceability matrix, which we have already discussed in the course that we are going through. But again, if you want to learn, you will find it in both PMBOK 7 as well as here in the BA practice guide. Though in this particular guide, where PA practice guide, which that I'm mentioning right now, it's much more detailed, and it's very good to understand, because that's what this one of the artifacts that you're going to use while working on the projects in the shoes of project management or business analyst both. So yes, I'm going to move out to few more which are additional resources. I would not recommend you to go and study all of them, but just wanted to give you an overview that these are what are recommended. Now these two, I have gone through these as well and put some material into the course for you. So managing an organization, what is change management, it's really important. I'm not going to go through anything in detail here, neither I'm going to discuss content, just a glance for you. So it's talking about what is change management and how it's implemented. So it's an extension of project management. You just need to know some basics about change management in your exam, PMP CAPM, not in depth. So I will not recommend this for you to read, but it is there available on the site of PMI. You can download it if you're a member, and it's a very good guide for change management. Similarly, the one standard for risk management in portfolios, program, and projects. If you are keen and you want to see more about risk management, learn more about it, this is one of the guides, again readily available on the PMI membership on the site. Go ahead, check for it and download. If you need any help, I'm there for you, and we can go through it together. So this is all about the resources and overview. I just didn't want to give the list and not the feel. So the intent was to give you the feel of each one of these guides, which you do not have. I'm assuming that if you don't have membership of PMI, you don't have these books, then you must know what it looks like, what it contains, and what's there on your disposal when you're going through the course, so that you can blend between the two, and see what more you need from me, or what you need to collect to get going in this profession and certification. So yes, thank you very much. It was wonderful till here. Let's keep going, keep learning. Thank you.